Alright, so patch notes released for JP in Korea today, and as you can guess, well, it was kind of a surprise to me. I wasn't expecting to get one of them, but we got Zeldris and Chandler. I keep calling him Kusak because Kusak is Zeldris' teacher, so it would make much more sense to release Zeldris with Kusak. But we got Zeldris and Chandler. I've already looked through them, and I posted their ultimate looks, and they look absolutely insane. Honestly, they might just make Assault Meliodas like the best team in the game, and maybe even the best unit in the game. But, yeah, they look good. I need to get their translations first. Hold up. All right, here we are. The translations for Zeldris and Chandler. So one thing that is kind of confusing me, Zeldris' whole kit is actually kind of confusing. Because when I first read it, I was like, what? I was so confused. But they gave him either a new commandment or they're changing his commandment completely. For all Zeldris, not just this Zeldris, base Zeldris and everything. And by the way, this Zeldris is a new name Zeldris, so yeah, you won't be able to use base Zeldris' costumes. So his passive is that increases allies' basic stats by 2% for every debuff applied on enemies. So let's say you're using him with Assault Meliodas, and the enemy hits Assault Meliodas one time, they all get a debuff. So you're basically increasing their basic stats by 2%, which adds up to 6%. 2% each. And limit is 10 times. So you get a 20% buff, and Assault Meliodas gets a 20% buff on top of his 25% buff. So it'll be 45% buff. So yeah, it's really good. And if you use his ult, then that's like a 95% buff. So he's unkillable right there at that point. But his new commandment, if a critical strike occurs from skill use, decreases crit rate and crit damage by 10%, applies to both allies and enemies when entering battle. Excludes deathmatch limit 3 times. So I don't know if this is repeated or anything. I don't know if once you get lowered once, can it lower again? I don't know, but this kind of puts a nerf on the crit team and crit units like Sariel and the One, because they're getting lowered for critting, which Sariel is literally meant to crit. There's not a single match where he won't crit. But yeah, so that kind of cucks. That really cucks out Sariel, actually. His first ability, Black Road, I'm sorry. Inflicts cut damage equal to 500% of attack that enemies do not cause critical on one enemy. That does not cause critical strike on one enemy. So, I don't really, but cut does additional damage equal to 50% of 100 attack of critical damage. I have no idea, like, even reading it now, I'm still a bit confused. Inflicts 500, what's that? So I'm guessing if you do crit, it adds, a 50% on your critical damage. I don't know. We'll probably see it in game. For me, it comes out at like 10:30 or 11 because I play the Korean version. But for JP, it probably gonna come out like 4 a.m. Eastern. But Korea comes out 10:30 to 11 Eastern. His second skill is a debuff. It's basically dissolve, but it also locks enemies' ultimate move gauge. It depletes ultimate move gauge orbs at the end of the enemy's turn and disables ultimate moves for 2 turns. So it's kind of like Gother's dissolve ability and Droll's passive, but you can disable it anytime. we don't know what the bronze abilities are gonna be because all these are level 3s. So we don't know. His ultimate, I think in the anime he says something like Shirei D-Ray. So I'm just gonna quote that. So this is not Omius Nebula Zeldris, by the way. So we still have another Zeldris to go, and that one will probably be probably another red Zeldris, if I'm being honest. I don't know. It's either gonna be blue or red. I don't think it's gonna be green. I was hoping that this was gonna be a green base Zeldris, but this is even better, honestly. But we still don't have a green base Zeldris. And moving on to Chandler. So his passive is decreases all stats of enemies who use a skill by 7% for 1 turn in PvP. Applies when entering battle before the skill is activated repeatedly. So let's say if the one triple attacks, he'll be lowered by 21%. Or is it basics? Oh no, it's all stats. Okay, including crit damage and crit chance and lifesteal. So that's really good. That's really good for counting him. He's gonna be more of like a unit that you want to take the damage because of his passive, and he has a taunt, so he's gonna be taking most of the damage in the whole team. So let's say you run Assault, Melee, Melascula, Chandler, and Green Zeldris in the back. Because the Green Zeldris, from what I can tell, his passive does work in the back. Because it doesn't say applies when entering battle. So you can use Assault, Melee, Melascula, Chandler, and Zeldris in the back. But his first ability, Dragon Claw, is the same ones as Story, honestly. Inflicts damage equal to 400% of attack on one enemy. Restricts all skill. Oh, never mind. So it's the same skill as Valenti. It disables all the skill effects. Wow, they're really just trying to get Escanor out of here. So let's say you hit him with this and he triple attacks. He won't be doing extra 80% damage on his Flood card, and he'll be lowered by 21% on all his stats. So the one will become the joke soon. And of course, full counter assumes it stands for 2 turns, which taunts enemies and inflicts damage equal to 300% of attack when taking attacks. Inflicts additional 100% of attack. Oh, so he's like counter melee. He does more damage the more damage he takes. So let's say it's start of the match, you go second. No. You go first, you put up a taunt for him, and then the enemy hits you with a level 2 Flood card, and it like half hits you. He's basically gonna do like an insane amount of damage on his full counter. And of course his ultimate, Meteor Works, inflicts charge damage equal to 455% of attack on all enemies. So, I forgot to go over this Zeldris' ultimate. My bad. But Zeldris inflicts damage equal to I'm just gonna go over 945% of attack on one enemy. I don't know why it's a one enemy. It should just be all enemies. But his ultimate is very confusing because it says a single target, but it decreases HP related stats of all enemies. So I don't know if they made a typo. Being Grandcross, I don't know if they made a typo. I'm sorry, Netmarble, same people. In his ultimate, and they meant to say on all enemies, but yeah, apparently a single target but decreases HP related stats on all enemies. So I don't really know how that's gonna work. But yeah, that's it for their translations. Yeah. Alright, let's go back to the patch notes. Okay, so I already recorded this part of the video, but it cut off my audio because I ran out of storage. So I'm gonna go over this pretty quickly. The banners, these three, everybody but Chandler is exclusive to the Holy War Festival. But we have Nanashi, Red Hair Liz, Green Arthur, Ludociel, all the summonable commandments, even Green Fraudrin. We have all of the coin shop sins. Yeah. All the coin shop sins. So Red Escanor, Green Merlin, Red Gother, Blue Free King, Green Nutchuck Bomb, sorry, and Blue Free Deanne, and Red Demon Melee. So banners, it's okay, honestly. It's not as good as Assault Melee's, but it's 300, 600, 900. You get to pick either Zeldris or Assault Melee. This might not be the full banner because it says right here some SSR characters are not included in this gacha lineup for details. So yeah, and also some other costumes for a bunch of people, being angels, the goddesses, except for Tarmiel. I don't know why they didn't give Tarmiel one, but they gave them all school costumes except for Tarmiel. This Liz one actually looks pretty cool. The Sario one looks cool, and new costumes for Ludociel, which is good, so he can get some more CC. School costume for the demons as well. Yeri probably looking the best, honestly. Yeah, that's about it. Also, the costumes for those two. Let me find it. Here it is. I think no. Okay, so we do have the costume sale event for JP and Korea as well. So costumes will be 50% off. So UR costumes being 20, SR costumes being 7, and SSRs being 15. Oh, here they are. The costumes for Chandler and Zeldris. They gave Zeldris the same one they gave Assault Melee, so it's like a bunch of magma and like they crawled straight out of a volcano from Purgatory. And they gave not Cusack, Chandler one is like a big red demon. It looks amazing, honestly. But yeah, that's about it. If should you summon, I mean, sure. It's a Holy War Festival. They don't really get, like, these are more exclusive than the actual festivals because they don't come back when actual festivals happen. And a lot of people don't summon for Holy War festivals because they're like right after the other festivals. Like right now, we just got this right after Merlin, so everybody just summons for the actual festivals. And then when the Holy War festivals come up, then nobody's summoning because nobody has gems. But sure, go for it. These are really good. Honestly, Assault Melee just might be the best team after this. So I'm really hoping for that because I love Assault Melee. I think he's such a fun unit. And yeah, he's not brain dead like some other guy I know that begins with the and ends with Eskimo. But yeah. So let me know if you guys are summoning. And yeah.